Again, it's the show that never stops, ladies and gentlemen. Two Detroit nerds. We're back at it again. We've got another episode for you guys. We're hitting it off this winter with new content, everything you like, anime, video games, all that bullshit. We've got Spence in the house again. Second time return guest, our first return guest. So, Spence, you win the award of first return guest on the show.
I'll be on a trivia question somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll be on a trivia question somewhere.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, we're here. It's a new day. It's a new night. Actually, it's literally a new day. I think it's midnight. Is it?
Past midnight. Yeah, we've been here.
Yeah. So we did something really interesting today, Dom.
We did. We had a day, didn't we?
That was pretty cool. Talk to him about it.
You guys, we had a Tekken tournament over at a local brewery. It went amazing. Everything you would want from it as a Tekken fan. If you didn't show, like they say, you're a square, you're lame.
Lost.
Oh, I lost. It's fine. That's beside the point. We're not going to go into why I lost and why I shouldn't have lost.
He lost because he's ass.
That's not what it was. This man took acting spot as a commissioner so he could cop out of playing. Yeah.
I was the commissioner.
It's like the same old trick people do when they
Catch
know
me
they're
at
not
Soul
going to go
Calibur,
far.
bro. That's all I'm saying.
The games don't matter, bro. I'm always going to come out victorious against you. That's what matters.
But you lost, though. You weren't victorious.
We're talking about you and I now. We're not talking about who was in the tournament.
I'm just saying.
Don't change it. Don't change it, bro.
Spence, would you say that Dom is a good gamer?
Yes.
Would you say he's one of the best you know?
No.
Okay. No. So you'd say Dom is like more mid-tier?
No, he's a very good gamer. He's a very good gamer. But like my brothers and some of my brothers' friends have been gaming a long time.
Yeah.
They've been gaming longer than we've both been alive.
Right.
And like they're got some shit down pat.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to put them at that tier. And I've seen some real wild shit with Tetris guys.
Yeah.
And Mortal Kombat guys.
Yeah.
And Smash Bros guys on like legit tournaments, not a tournament at a brewery.
Right.
Shout out Max, shout out Kunin, shout out everything. It was great, but like legit sanctioned tournaments of like, oh, this motherfucker can play some video games.
You said the best that you know.
Yeah.
Not people that you don't know.
But I've seen.
Yeah, but
with my eyes.
Matter.
So I know them. Right?
That's not what he asked you. No, absolutely not.
No?
I've seen plenty of people with my eyes that I don't know.
Who?
At almost 90% of my customer base at where I work.
That's fair. But no, you're a great gamer, for sure. For sure, a great gamer.
Would you say he's better at FPS, fighting games? Like, what would you say is his
I would
best?
say he's the best at fighting games.
Games.
I'd say that's he's good at FPS for sure, but fighting games is his strength, I would say.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat, Tekken, Smash. When you talk about those kind of games,
Dom's got it.
Yeah, he's very good with that.
No, I believe that. I always thought that people that were good at Smash Bros were like a certain kind of gamer. Like there's a certain kind of like skill that comes from being good at that kind of game. Because like people will call it a button mashing game. Of course. But it's a timing game to me.
A lot of time.
Yeah, it's a timing game, and that's like a discipline thing. Like if you're a disciplined person, I notice the people that are like that are good at games like Smash Bros.
Yeah. You're right about that. I mean, it takes a lot because almost everybody, even people who would be at that pro level status, they still have those small urges to want to just button mash because that's you kind of figure like, oh, something's got to connect. But some of these guys out there, they got their discipline God tier.
Yeah. No, I mean, I've seen those videos of people who can just completely sauce up
crazy.
anyone on
it
Smash.
It is crazy. The skill level of fighting games, that's the biggest skill gap in any games. Battle Royale, FPS, turn-based, any game you want to talk about, the skill gap of fighting games is crazy. Because when you look at an elite Smash player, an elite Mortal Kombat player, an elite Tekken player, an elite Street Fighter player, if we walk up there and have 50 games in a row against them, we won't touch them once.
Not one time.
Not once.
And I think that is the difference between like games like Call of Duty or more new age types of games and like those original games like Mortal Kombat or Tekken or Soul Calibur, because if you're good at those games, you don't even get like I don't even get to touch you. There's no lucky shot, there's no I need to warm up. If you're good, the button maps.
That's it.
You know the button maps, the hitboxes, the timing. It's crazy how much, and it's hard to be that good, like the top of the mountaintop, and multiple of those games.
Yeah.
Because you have to dedicate so much time to be that good at one of those games that you're not going to play another game for years.
No, seriously. And people take Mortal Kombat very seriously. Yeah. I knew some Bloods in New Orleans a long time ago, a couple lifetimes ago.
Shout out.
Who used to come by a couple of the different houses I would frequent. And they would bring a PS4 with them, along with loaded Glocks and other things. But they'd always bring a PS4 with Mortal Kombat.
It's a must-have.
And they'd bring it to the crib while they were, purveying certain services for certain people. While they were there, because they came across town, they'd bring, hey, let's play some Mortal Kombat. And, I thought I was like, okay, sure, we're playing a friendly game. They're like, nah, let's put 20 on it. They're not playing, like, it's not a joke.
A game at that point.
It's not a joke. It's not a game. They're serious.
That's funny because that exact description will only be they brought a PlayStation 4 with Mortal Kombat, or they brought a PlayStation 4 with 2K. Those are the only two games you'll ever see pop into those disc trays.
Absolutely.
I'm so mad. Like, I love our friend group. I love all the games we play. If we did a 2K tournament, I'd 21 every single one of those motherfuckers that were sitting in that bar. I guarantee it.
I mean,
I put more hours into 2K than any game in my entire life. I've bought every single 2K since 2K12.
Holy shit.
And I've done like 7, 8, 9 years.
Oh my God.
Like chip, MVP.
He's a manager. He's a legit team manager.
Absolutely nuts on 2K. If we ran 2K for the cheddar like that, I'm putting down 2 racks
straight
ready
up,
to go.
Easy, no problem.
I would have cleaned that whole bar. I would have cleaned that whole bar.
I don't think I have a game like that where I can be that confident. I think maybe, there's no multiplayer in Battlefield, so probably not.
You can't private match in Battlefield?
You could private match, but there aren't maps small enough.
Right.
You'd have to
because it's not an arcade shooter.
Yeah, you'd have to agree on where in the map. Which I guess you could do, but then also
wouldn't feel the same.
It wouldn't feel the same. Yeah, Battlefield isn't really a 1v1 type of game.
Battlefield is it's a PC game.
Yeah.
It's literally a PC game. Those servers are meant for 35 on 35.
Yeah, literally 64 on 64. Yeah,
that's why you have planes and tanks and so many different. That's why I loved Battlefield.
Me too, man.
When we first got Battlefield, it was like Battlefield 1948 for the computer, Battlefield 2, Battlefield Vietnam for the computer. And we had those on my parents' PC that they first got. We're running that. We're running Diablo. We're running RuneScape and two other. Battlefield was so amazing.
Yeah, it really was. Especially think about a world where Call of Duty never existed, right?
Yeah.
Think about a world where arcade FPS isn't the raison d'etre. It's not the thing that everyone wants, right? Or wants to do. What was before that? It was big team-based tactical shooters. You even had that with Graw. You had that with Ghost Recon and stuff.
Quake.
But Battlefield was the excellent example. This is how you do a shooter, and it really put it in your mind that I can play a fucking military simulation.
Yeah.
Obviously there's other more Arma 3 and stuff.
Of course.
There's more accurate ones, but Battlefield gives you that thrill.
The most underrated shooter war game I ever played was SOCOM.
SOCOM.
Of
course. Yeah, SOCOM.
SOCOM Navy SEALs.
Yes.
I used to plug
and it was third
the
person.
internet connection into the back of my PS2
Yes.
100%.
to run multiplayer on SOCOM Navy SEALs. Such an amazing game.
You put the yellow Ethernet cable in that bitch.
It wasn't like now where all your systems are just wirelessly connected.
But PS2... Sidebar, goated system.
Goated.
Yes.
Goated system.
The best system.
You had the first online multiplayer on a console, and the last game that was made for PS2, I think, was FIFA 16.
Really? That's how far it was able to...
Bro, it didn't
what
stop.
the
It did not
fuck?
FIFA 16, or don't quote me on that, but it was a teen FIFA. That was the last game made for PS2.
Yo, who was the guy who made the God damn it, what is it called? Who made the Metal Gear series? What's
Hideo Kojima.
Yeah.
Hideo Kojima.
Goat.
Okay.
Goat.
So like, let's take it back to when did Metal Gear Solid 3 come out? What year was it?
What, Snake Eaters 2, 3
release date.
Metal Gear Solid 3 was.
Hold on, let's see here. I've got it right here. Got it right here. November 17th.
Is that Snake Eater? Which one is that?
Yeah, Snake Eater.
Yeah.
2004.
Yeah.
I need to do something right now because this is going to go on the internet, and there's a chance that like a video game developer or like some nerd in Stockholm or some fucking gamer,
shout out Stockholm,
who's 19 and doesn't know anything about video games is going to listen to this. So I got to say something.
Please do.
2004, I should not say right now that Snake Eater in 2004 has better video game development story mechanics than 90% of games right now.
I would say 100% of games right
100%. And I was trying to, people fuck with me online, man, because I say big statements like that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, all video games right now
The
suck.
Psycho Mantis fights? It literally, you had to unplug your controller and you had to take out your memory card.
4D. You're playing your 4D gameplay.
That's breaking the fifth wall,
bro,
in a video game.
Bro.
That's never been done before, and I can't remember it being done since.
And this is before, like, you have social media or something to tell you that that's what you need to do. Yeah. You had to just keep dying for 1,000 days.
Or buy the guide.
Or get the guide.
Yeah, that was the only way to know back then.
You'd go to a GameStop at a failing mall, and you talk to the guy and say, hey, I'm really dying on Snake Eater with Psycho Mantis. What do I do? He'd take you in the back. He'd be like, listen, this is what you do. You take the fucking memory card out of your fucking PS2. That was the only way you could find out.
Can't be caught on camera giving that out, bro.
Yeah. No. Can't be caught on camera going in the back of GameStop.
No, dudes in suits are going to pull up as soon as they hear him say, oh, take the memory card out. There's going to be a knock at that door.
No,
That's crazy.
Come with us, sir.
You go back 2 weeks later, he's gone. He's not even there anymore. You ask what happened to him. They said, hey, some black trucks pulled up. A couple Japanese guys took him. We never saw him again.
Yeah.
That's what you hear. Years
later, you find him on Facebook under a whole new moniker.
Whole new name. He's a girl now.
Yep.
Shit happens, man, when you try to play these games, bro.
I mean, you got to know who to fuck with and who not to fuck with.
The real Psycho Mantis.
That's what I'm talking about. And, I try not to be so hard on video games now because I'm still a gamer. I still like playing games.
Of course.
And I've talked about this with Dom a lot, but it's like I have to continuously lower my standards.
We're cursed.
Because if I were to think of a video game like that,
yeah,
like a 2004 release game, and then I think about what I just bought for $90 like two months ago, it's a regression. It's bad.
We're cursed. We grew up in the golden age of video games. We grew up that we are born and playing Nintendo 64.
Right.
One of the greatest game systems of all time.
Absolutely.
We lived through and loved PlayStation 2. The greatest video game system of all time. We are cursed because we had the peak. And you'll never get back to the peak.
Such an early time, too.
You'll never get back there.
I feel that way about anime.
I feel like that about all media.
No, I would disagree about all media. I would say rap is better now than it's ever been. But I would say that not now. I would say rap was better than it's ever been in 2017 to 2020.
Yes.
Thank you.
I would agree with that.
Thank you, Spencer. Some of us just know about, music and stuff,
What's funny is the same arguments I make to you, he would make to you.
About
so
who?
You're agreeing with him on something that you guys don't actually agree on because his version of 2017 to 2020 is completely different than your version.
Mid-teens to early 20s.
What were you bumping in 2017?
Kendrick.
Okay.
Cole.
Okay.
ASAP.
Okay.
Man,
Any SoundCloud stuff?
Oh yeah. When I went to East Lansing, MSU, some shit that went down at MSU. One of my friends, Elijah, he was really down with the SoundCloud rappers.
Yeah,
and he showed me Uzi, X, and Perp.
Yeah, Smoke Perp.
Yeah. Before they blew up, before they did anything.
You heard Glock Inside My Benz?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he was like, these guys are next.
Dom doesn't know about Glock Inside My Benz, He doesn't remember
Dom doesn't care about Glock inside my
He doesn't remember waking up.
Those were transformative years for rap. The SoundCloud era that got issued in the mainstream was crazy.
I mean, it's like saying you don't like GameCube to bring it back to consoles.
No, that is so far off. That is so far off. Here's the thing. Here's the thing that I guess for the rest of my life I'll never understand this.
What?
When I have this musical debate with people, it starts out as, this was the best years for rap, and then it changes to, this was the most transformative. So the argument is now different from my beginning argument. I am not saying rap didn't change. I'm not saying it didn't have a huge influence. I'm not saying that the wave that started at that time isn't still here to this day. I'm not saying it's not influential. Nothing among those sorts.
Dumb.
But you cannot tell me that I should think that was the best year.
What are your best years
or
of rap?
that it changed?
If I could just, because there's
something
I need to address. You said the argument keeps changing. Here's the thing: Michio Kaku, when he wrote about quantum mechanics, in 1997, he talked about how things can be in a state of superposition. Right? They can be doing two things at the same time.
Yeah.
Rap, specifically SoundCloud rap, is both good and bad. Right? It can be in a state of superposition. Right? And to bring it back to something we've talked about before with Spence on the show, is that the person who was able to complete that, that equation and actually break rap into the fifth dimension,
Sosa, baby,
was Chief Keef. But we won't get into that again. If you want to listen to that episode, we did Spenny. It's episode 10.
Yeah, we don't have to get into that. What I don't understand is like,
what's your best years of rap?
I'll give you that. The statement is made in a way of, I don't understand how this person could not like this, which makes no sense. No sense at all.
Wait,
it makes
repeat that? Wait, what did you say?
It comes down to being, when these things are said, and this is only really within the new generation, this period of time you guys are talking about, it's now at the point of, I don't understand how somebody could not like that, which I don't understand, because any other era in music, there's always the people that say, no, this isn't that good. And then it's like, oh, that's cool. But then this newer shit.
That always happens.
No, it's different now, bro. I've never heard it now. I've never heard it more now than I have anything else. Any other era.
What's your best era of rap?
What's your best era?
What's your best era of rap?
Best era of rap?
10-year period.
That is not 1995.
Please don't say 1995.
I wouldn't say 1995.
I respect the 90s, but
like we already give that its thing. That's a different thing.
For me,
then that's one of, what can I say besides 2000 or 2010 then at that point?
2010 to 2020.
You could even do like,
that's it.
You could even do like a 2-year period. You could say
we said
these
10.
couple of, and you could,
2 years. You
could say these couple of albums. This
you said
particular
17
run.
to 20. For me, it was like,
so that's 3. Yeah.
No, that's fine. Mine would probably be like 10 to 13.
10 to 13.
10 to
so
13. That's like your
fair.
Kendrick breakout, your J. Cole breakout, all the things we were talking about earlier, like your Pro Era, Flatbush, ASAP, Wiz, all that shit.
Mine would probably be 12
my
to
favorite.
15. 12 to 15.
My personal favorite, because that was now the for me and how I experienced it. It was like, for anything I was interested in, that was the change. That was like the first big shift that I liked amongst a large amount of who was out and who was coming out as new at that time. That's when it changed for me, because anytime before then, I was, if you're a rap fan, you're still listening to from 2000 to 2010. You're listening to a lot of those older guys. You're talking about like your M50s, Jay-Z's, fucking like Fabulous, like all of G-Unit, Dipset. You're talking about all of that, right? Because those guys are obviously running the game like crazy for their time period. 2010, like I said, to 13 was the first time a whole wave of new guys came out. Now we're changing this. We're still going to be on like certain shit that came from those other times, but we're changing this now. This is our time. And now look where we are. We're another 10 years past that.
Can we recognize one thing and pay homage to one thing? Wiz Khalifa had one of the nastiest, most undefeated runs in rap.
Yeah.
Yes.
He did.
When he went from fucking Burn After Rolling,
yes,
Flight School,
yes,
to
Cushion OJ,
Taylor
Cabin
Allardyce.
Fever, Taylor Allardyce. He had like a 7-project run that were Kanye five album run level.
Yeah, definitely.
Like people talk about Kanye's run,
Definitely.
but Wiz had a nasty run.
Yeah. Could you take the thing off of that so that it doesn't keep making the noise? That stand, the stand top that you have in your hand, right? That one.
He's gonna have to unplug the mic.
Yeah, you'll have to unplug, but we can still keep recording. Yeah.
And then just unscrew
Sorry
that
about
bottom
that.
part. No, I definitely agree with that because that was like, there was rappers who came and went within those years, but there was like motherfuckers that were really there, and like you knew as soon as a new drop was announced or coming about.
Yeah.
It was like takeover time.
Well, can I tell you why? Even though I agree with you, Wiz absolutely a tastemaker.
For sure.
Genre creator.
For sure.
In our generation, real virtuoso. But I want to talk about that genre for a second, like the stoner rap genre, and why it never took off. Like why it never took
It's not
off.
a very good genre.
And I want to use the example of Raz Fresco. Do you guys remember Raz Fresco?
No.
I'm glad you don't remember Raz Fresco. Raz Fresco was a like Wiz Khalifa copy, but he was from Canada. He was from Toronto. He was right next up. He was right about to blow up. But if you remember, Wiz switched up like his like vibe.
Yeah, of
like
course.
right as he was getting super big.
Trap Wiz.
Yep. And that was right around the time that another sound started to take over the airwaves, drill, right? So a lot of that stoner intellectual, not even intellectual, what could you call it? Like stoner swag. Call it stoner swag, right? Stoner swag rap was out the fucking window because it wasn't hard, right? Of course. And I think the thing that Wiz is so good at is he doesn't need to be a tough guy. People like him, right?
In rap specifically.
Which is very hard to do.
It is.
Especially to never get tested or pressed, ever. People like him that much.
Nobody called him on his shit. Nothing came out.
Like Kanye said, only when I got respectful as Wiz.
Yeah.
He did it on his own.
Yeah.
He never had a Drake feature.
Nope.
He never had a super crazy feature. It was Wiz, Chevy Woods, 3-6 Mafia. It was Wiz doing it by himself.
Yeah.
And you know, you said who was the name of the guy?
Raz Fresco.
Raz Fresco.
Yeah.
American version of Raz Fresco.
Yeah.
Dizzy Wright.
Yeah.
Golden Age is one of my favorite albums ever. Golden Age by Dizzy Wright is crazy. I listened to that and I was like, this motherfucker.
We all thought he was
next.
We
He's
thought
next.
he made it for sure.
Where's he from again? Where's Dizzy Wright?
He's Vegas.
Vegas. That's why he didn't make it. They have a hex on Vegas. You know, you can't be a rapper from Vegas. You know that, right?
I believe that because that's kind of how it played out for him. I don't know if you remember, bro. He was coming up with like Funk Volume. He was in Funk Volume with Hobson and Swizz and all. He was with that label. That's who he signed with. And this was at a time of the group thing in a rap was coming back. You had Top Dog, you had Black Hippie,
right?
You had ASAP Mob, Odd Future,
right.
and then you had Funk Volume.
Yeah.
And that was a good time too. I was like, damn, the group shit's coming back. I'm like, this is crazy. How long has it been?
Yep.
And then they all fell out, bro. I don't know what the fuck happened.
Dizzy
I guess it's
was
that Nevada thing.
Dizzy was way better than anybody in Funk Volume though.
There's always the star, right?
Yeah,
There's always like
he
the
should have
guy.
been.
Yeah. I think, man, that's such an interesting time, 2010 to 2013, because I went through my old Tumblr to see like what music I was listening, because my Tumblr's from that exact time, right?
Oh yeah.
So I was like looking at like who I was listening to.
Tumblr died with stoner rap.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did.
That's the fuel right there.
Tumblr died immediately at the exact same time when I went from smoking in my room in secret and looking at like shit on the internet to smoking outside, you know, on the block. Like when you actually are starting to go outside, Tumblr died right then. But what the fuck was I just about to say? I was right before we said something about Tumblr. Oh, I was looking at the music on my Tumblr in 2010 and 2013. And you know who was a main staple that I still listen to today? You're not gonna like this. Action Bronson.
Why?
You don't like Action? Or you like Action?
I've never told you I didn't. I only told you
not,
I've liked Action Bronson.
My bad. I think it's somebody else then. Yeah, damn. But do you like Action? Some people don't like him.
I respect Action. I'm not gonna bang Action Bronson, but I respect who he is. I respect his show. Fuck That's Delicious.
Yeah.
Fuck That's Delicious is a fantastic show.
Yeah.
He's got bars and shit, but like that's not the kind of rap I'm gonna.
Have you
throw on and vibe to?
Why you throw on Griselda?
No. I won't even.
Not as much. Not.
Okay, so you don't like New York. You don't like New York rap.
I like New York rap.
Okay,
Mos Def's one of my favorite rappers of all time.
Yeah, he Respiration by Mos Def and Black Star. The song Black Respiration. Have you heard? That's the greatest. That's one of the greatest songs in the English language.
Yeah, hands down. But I feel like the kind of New York rap he's talking about isn't Mos Def.
Like dirt.
We're talking about like gritty shit. Yeah. Like these niggas.
I mean, Joey. I love Joey. Like it's. Yeah. I like Griselda.
Yeah.
I'd bang Griselda before I'd bang Action.
So
for sure.
Can I ask you about like what you've listened to by Action? So have you listened to Rare Chandeliers?
I don't think so.
That's the first mixtape he did with The Alchemist. So he's done other ones.
Alchemist is crazy.
Yeah. The first one he did with The Alchemist, I've shown you.
So you were playing yesterday, yeah.
I was literally playing,
it's hard, bro.
And it's also this too, because I don't talk.
He flows.
I don't talk a lot about lyrics, right? Like I'm not a big lyric guy, but when somebody does impress me with lyrics, they're my favorite. They're one of my favorites. Like if you can actually impress me, Action in that whole every song has amazing fucking like storybook shit, like for real.
Yeah.
There's a Twitter account called Accidentally Bronson.
I have never. What is that?
It's like random tweets.
Yeah.
That sound like they could be an Action Bronson bar.
Yeah. Like the sports shit.
It's like just got into a fight with 6 people over some chicken wings, lemon pepper, salty, extra flavor. And like this guy Pablo Torre, he is a fantastic sports journalist. He's got his own podcast. He sat down with Action Bronson on his podcast and read him some of those.
Yeah.
And Action's like, that's hard. That's
the
shit you'd hear where he's I fixed the game between Georgia Southern and Grambling, random shit like that.
Like mad specific shit. That's what I love about Action Bronson. And I mean, Dom, it's like how I tell stories, right? Like my type of humor is that kind of stuff. So like that's why I've always fucked with it. But there's one lyric in the song Michael Vick on that album, bro.
Yeah, you played that yesterday.
I played it yesterday, didn't I?
You did.
Yo, hold on. He says, yo. He says, when you down the people kick you, when you up the bitches lick you, chill dogs, I don't want to have to Michael Vick you. Yo, it sounds stupid when I'm saying it because I'm not a good.
You don't have the voice for it.
I have the voice for it, but holy shit, Rare Chandeliers, Action Bronson, The Alchemist, one of the greatest rap mixtapes that have come out in our lifetime. Absolutely. But even before that, right? Because a lot of people think that Action Bronson, a lot of people think of him as like a personality. Yeah. That he's like a guy on TV.
Yeah.
No, he's an MC, man.
Yeah, I know.
He's a legit MC.
And he's a 4-star Michelin chef.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is nuts.
It's insane, bro. The guy is talented.
No, I mean, he's an example to me of somebody that you shouldn't even have to question much whether or not they're actually an MC. I mean, if you literally see anything that even comes out within the media about him, who was always right next to him? The Alchemist.
Yeah.
That's literally one of his best friends. Like, if you have a legend status producer around you at all times and you were formerly a rapper or still are a rapper, there's no way you're not mixing some shit up with them. There's no possible. That's your best friend. You mean to tell me this nigga's ridiculous on the keys? You're a cold rapper. You're not in the booth with him?
Exactly.
What the fuck?
And you know who's also a sleeper agent? Like a legitimately beautiful spoken word artist? Big Body Bess.
Yes.
Big Body Bess.
Bess is the man.
Yo, I'm telling you, bro, listen, in the beginning of Rare Chandeliers, he opens the album with just a spoken word, just a sonnet. And it's one of the most beautiful. If you listen to Tank by Action Bronson, in the second half of Tank, yo, they stop rapping. They just let Big Body Bess talk.
He gives a sermon.
Bro, if
he's a preacher, man. That's the best part of Fuck That's Delicious.
It really is.
Bess just go nuts, dude.
Bro, Bess is a legend, bro. And also, if you ever seen his No Jumper interview, did you ever see his No Jumper?
Oh, yeah.
Yo. Greatest interview. Yo, Bess, if you see this, we want you on 2 Detroit Nerds.
Adam 22 is a cuck, though.
Yeah, no, he sucks. I mean, we can talk about it because I've been meaning to try to get views by talking about this.
Yeah.
This Accidental Bronson Twitter.
Yeah.
One of them right now is it's just like screenshots of tweets.
Yeah.
And one of them is put me in Timothy Chalamet in the Oklahoma drill, and I'm putting him in the hospital. And then saw an 8 months pregnant lady holding a sword at an antique store, and it's unlocked something ancient and visceral inside me.
That's
dog.
That's
all
great.
the king's horses can't even help me out. He's got a ton of horses.
Yo,
Like it's such a good Twitter account, man. Accidental Bronson.
that's amazing. Yeah, check that shit out, guys. Accidental Bronson. But holy shit. Hold on. I can't remember the name of the song. Fuck it. What were we just talking about
Adam
before?
22.
Oh yeah, Adam 22. Yeah.
Cuck of the year.
Yeah. So I lived in LA for like a year and a half. I'm not an LA guy. I'm not gonna sit here and talk about like, oh yeah, my time in LA. Like I had some fun times, but like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
But one thing I did realize about LA and about people that have been there for a long time, like 5 years plus, is that in order for you to stand living there, you have to have a dream. And your dream for a lot of the people there is fame.
Of
right?
course.
So if your dream is fame, then popularity is like an incredibly important thing to you,
Of
how
course.
people view you, all that bullshit, right? It turns you into a perpetual 16-year-old girl, basically. You could be a 45-year-old man, your values are the same as a 16-year-old cheerleader at Midwestern.
Tell me I'm pretty.
Yeah, at a Midwestern, like, Big Six school. But anyways, the types of people that you meet are going to jeopardize, any value or moral, we all know this, for that popularity,
Of
right?
course.
Our generation, right? That was something that was always happening,
Yeah.
right? But I believe that our generation, because certain things have become metriced and trackable,
Yeah.
right? Like, what is something that is a attention getting, right? Like, we can actually look that up and find out what that is.
Multiple things.
Right. So I'm saying all that to say that somebody like Adam 22 is a particularly detestable human being, because he's actually going to go towards the specific things that make him,
Of course,
a whatever you want to say, persona non grata, infamous, whatever. And he's more interested, and this is what's crazy to me, he's more interested in like the image that you see of him on a screen on your laptop than who he is. Like his home life, all that's like tertiary.
Yeah.
Like that's not even secondary to him. Yeah. And that type of desperation, I think, is
he
what
got pressed
creates
for that, bro.
But it's not even like you can press him all day. That's what I'm saying is,
It's
like,
clicks.
it's clicks.
That's what I'm
click.
saying.
He wants
got
you to
pressed
press him
for that, though. Like specifically, not press like in a way of like some random dudes on the street ran up on him. It was on another podcast. They the Joe Budden podcast. They literally had a specific sit down and meet with him and pressed him on that exact thing about how he was running his accounts in a way only caring to get clicks at the jeopardy of like people's livelihood, people's safety. Like, he didn't give a fuck. He was just there to get his money, make his podcast, boom, get out there, and then boom. They said Denzel Washington said in one of his interviews,
I'm leaving here with something.
I'm leaving here with something. He said
I'm from around the way.
with reporters and journalists. He said he has a very big issue with them nowadays than he used to back in the day, because now all they care about is getting out what's first and not what's actually the truth.
So,
and that's exactly what he does.
That's
what's popping, get it out.
I have a degree in journalism.
Yeah.
I studied journalism for 4 years at an institution that is one of the best journalism schools in the country.
Absolutely.
And that's what it is at this point. Journalism, for what it is now, is disgusting and slimy. Because it's not you're getting a newspaper every morning. It's you open Twitter. And you're getting something immediately as it happens.
Absolutely.
So it's not like, you go to, I went to school at Michigan State. I did my 4 years. I got my degree in journalism. And they teach you all of the things that you need to know. Like,
right.
You go there, you got to be right.
Right.
You got to vet your sources.
Right.
You have to do all this stuff and multiple things. But when you get in the real world of actually getting paid for it, it's first. It's not right. It's first.
Absolutely.
If I came out here yesterday and said, 2 Detroit nerds just had Kanye West on their podcast and posted it on my Twitter, and it has 7 million views, nobody gives a fuck that it was Kanye East and not Kanye West.
Yeah.
They saw it.
Kanye.